Hey there, church. Pastor Mike here. Thank you for joining me once again for this midweek update. Hope all of you are doing well out there, and I hope to see you all Sunday. I want to ask you a question this evening in our time together. Do you want to make a difference or just make a living? Do you want to make a difference in this world while you're here, or are you just looking to go through the motions? It's a very humbling question. It helps us, and it makes us, and it prods us to evaluate our life, to evaluate our motives, to evaluate what we do day in and day out. I've heard pastors say it this way: are you in this world to do something, or are you in this world for something to do? That's a huge contrast, church, and it puts the spotlight on how we live each day. And so, do you want to make a difference? Or do you just want to make a living? In our study over the past several weeks in the book of Nehemiah, we know that Nehemiah's answer to that question was he wanted to make a difference. He could have just made a living, stayed cupbearer, served the king, lived out his life, had a good retirement, and lived happily ever after, according to the world standards. Yet he wasn't after just making a living. He wanted to make a difference, not only for himself, but in the lives of those around him. He wanted to make an impact. He wanted to make a difference. And my question is to you, no matter what your age, do you want to make a difference in this life? Scripture says our lives are just vapors. They're just here only for a short moment, and in compared to eternity, just a small drop in the bucket. But yet what we do matters. In the 60, 70, 80 years, some 90 years of life, it's just a short amount of time. But what we do in that time matters. It matters. And you and I can make a huge difference while we're here. And you may be thinking, I don't really have a whole lot of talents to make a difference. That's not true. God says He's given us gifts. He's given us talents for His glory and for our good and for the good of those around us. Now in our study of Nehemiah, we find that Nehemiah has some leadership talents. He's able to motivate a group of people. He's able to challenge them, and we're going to continue to see he's able to call them out on things as well. But we know that Nehemiah, more than anything else, is a man after God's glory and a man of prayer. And that enables him to accomplish the things that he sets out to do. It enables him to make a difference, because he recognizes and realizes if he's going to make any difference in this world, any lasting difference, it will be from relying and depending on God the Father. And that's the same for you and me. We must depend on Him, rely on Him, and then go out and carry out what He has put in our heart to do. And so our dependence on Him greatly affects the difference we'll make in this world. And so what we've seen in the first 4 chapters of Nehemiah on Sunday mornings, it's a man of prayer, a man of perseverance, a man of planning, a man who is willing to do the difficult work that it takes to make a difference wherever God places us, if it's in the capital, the Persian capital, or if it's in Jerusalem or anywhere else. Wherever God has placed you, He's given you an opportunity to make a difference. So church, don't be like the rest of the world who looks to just kind of get by and chase the American dream and just make a living. Don't fall into that. You and I, as the people of God, we are put here to make a difference. To make a difference for God's glory, for our good, and for the good of those around us. So church, do you want to make a difference? Or just make a living? That's the question you need to answer. And I hope your answer is to make a difference for God and His glory in our good. It's been good to be with you tonight, church. I hope you have a blessed evening, and I hope to see you Sunday as we continue in our sermon series, Nehemiah, Trading Comfort for a Cause. We'll be in chapter 5. I hope you read ahead. See you then. Love you, church.